The desert did not forgive. It did not forget either. Dr. Samir Al-Khatib knew this better than most. After 15 years of excavations across Egypt's harsh, sun-scorched landscapes, he had learned that the sands were not empty. They were patient. They swallowed empires, concealed truths, and waited for the right moment to reveal them. And now, standing at the edge of a newly uncovered site west of the Valley of the Kings, Samir felt something he hadn't experienced in years. Unease. "This shouldn't be here," he murmured. Behind him, his assistant Layla adjusted her scarf against the wind. "You've said that 5 times already." Samir didn't respond immediately. His eyes were fixed on the entrance, a partially exposed stone doorway, carved with symbols that did not match any known dynasty. "Because it doesn't make sense," he finally said. "The stratification layers suggest this structure predates the Old Kingdom. By far." Layla frowned. "How far?" Samir hesitated. "Not thousands of years," he said quietly. "Millions." The discovery had been accidental. Satellite imaging had revealed a strange anomaly beneath the desert, an unnatural geometric formation buried deep under layers of sediment. At first, the team assumed it was a natural formation or perhaps a lost tomb from a minor dynasty. But as they dug deeper, the truth became harder to ignore. The stone blocks were too precise, too smooth, and far too ancient. Now, as the last of the sand was cleared away, the entrance stood fully revealed. Massive stone doors, fused seamlessly into the surrounding rock, etched with symbols that resembled hieroglyphs, but weren't. "Ready?" Layla asked. Samir exhaled slowly. "No," he admitted, "but let's open it anyway." The doors did not open easily. It took hours of careful work, specialized tools, and a great deal of patience. But when they finally shifted, it wasn't with the grinding resistance of ancient stone. It was smooth, effortless, as if the mechanism inside had never aged. The moment the doors parted, a wave of cold air rushed out, unnatural, sterile, untouched by time. Layla shivered. "That's not normal," she said. "No," Samir agreed. "It's not." He stepped forward, switching on his flashlight. The beam cut through the darkness and revealed something impossible. The interior was pristine. No dust. No decay. The walls gleamed faintly, covered in intricate carvings that shimmered with an almost metallic sheen. This is impossible," Layla whispered. Samir nodded slowly. "Yeah," he said. "That seems to be a theme." They moved deeper into the structure. The corridor sloped downward, leading them into the heart of the tomb, or whatever it was. The carvings became more complex as they descended. At first glance, they resembled traditional Egyptian hieroglyphs, figures, symbols, scenes. But the details were wrong. The figures were elongated, their proportions subtly distorted. Their eyes larger, their limbs too precise. And the scenes... Samir stopped suddenly. "What is it?" Layla asked. He pointed at the wall. "Look at this." The carving depicted a figure wearing a pharaoh's crown, seated on a throne. Around him stood beings that were not human. Tall, slender, their heads elongated, their forms almost skeletal. Layla's voice dropped to a whisper. "Aliens." Samir didn't answer, because he was thinking the same thing. The chamber at the end of the corridor was vast. A perfect dome, its ceiling rising high above them. At the center stood a sarcophagus, not made of stone, but of a dark, reflective material that seemed to absorb light. "This isn't Egyptian," Layla said. "No," Samir agreed. "It's something else." They approached cautiously. The carvings on the sarcophagus were unlike anything they had seen before. Symbols that seemed to shift when viewed from different angles, patterns that felt almost alive. "Do you feel that?" Layla asked. Samir nodded. A low hum filled the air. Subtle, but undeniable. It's active, he said. After millions of years? Apparently. He reached out, hesitating only for a moment before placing his hand on the surface. The reaction was immediate. The hum intensified. The symbols lit up, and the lid began to open. Layla stumbled back. Samir. I didn't do anything, he said, though his voice lacked conviction. The sarcophagus opened with a soft, almost mechanical sound. Inside, a body, perfectly preserved. The figure wore a pharaoh's headdress, its design unlike any known artifact. His skin was smooth, unblemished, but not entirely human. There was something different, subtle, but unmistakable. His eyes were closed. And then they opened. Layla screamed. Samir froze. The figure sat up slowly, his movements fluid, precise. He looked at them. Not confused. Not afraid. Aware. You are not of my time, he said. His voice echoed strangely, as if layered with something deeper. Samir swallowed hard. No, he said. We're not. The figure studied them. Then the cycle has advanced further than anticipated. Layla clutched Samir's arm. What is he? She whispered. Samir didn't answer. Because he didn't know. I am known to your history as a pharaoh, the figure said, rising to his feet. But that is an incomplete truth. Samir found his voice. Then what are you? The figure paused. A guardian, he said. Of what? The figure looked around the chamber. Of a secret buried long before your species walked this world. They listened. Because what else could they do? The figure, who called himself Ammonius Ra, though he admitted the name was merely a translation, began to speak. Your world, he said, is not as old as you believe. Not in the way that matters. Samir frowned. What does that mean? It means, Ammonius Ra continued, that civilizations have risen and fallen on this planet long before your recorded history. Advanced beyond your current understanding. Powerful beyond your imagination. Layla shook her head. That's not possible. It is not possible for you. Ammonius Ra corrected. Not yet. Samir stepped forward. And you, he asked. Were you one of them? Ammonius Ra's gaze shifted to him. I was created by them. The chamber seemed to grow colder. Created? Layla repeated. Yes, Ammonius Ra said. Engineered. Designed to endure. To protect what? They left behind. Samir's mind raced. What did they leave? Ammonius Ra was silent for a moment. Then everything. He led them deeper into the structure. Hidden panels opened at his touch, revealing corridors that had been invisible before. What you see above, he explained, your pyramids, your monuments, they are echoes. Crude imitations of what once was. They entered another chamber, and Samir felt his breath catch. Technology. Advanced. Far beyond anything he had ever seen. Floating constructs. Energy fields. Devices that defied understanding. This changes everything, he whispered. Yes, Ammonius Ra said. It does. But it is also why this place must remain hidden. Samir turned to him. Why? Because your species is not ready. Layla crossed her arms. That's not your decision to make. Ammonius Ra looked at her. It was not mine originally, he said, but it is now. The tension was palpable. You can't just keep the secret, Samir said. This is humanity's history. No, Ammonius Ra replied calmly. It is humanity's future. Samir blinked. What? The ones who came before you, Ammonius Ra said. They did not die out. They left. But not before ensuring that life would continue on this world. Layla's eyes widened. You mean us? Yes. Samir staggered back slightly. That's impossible. And yet, Ammonius said, "Here you stand." Silence filled the chamber. Finally, Samir spoke. "What happens now?" Ammonius regarded him carefully. "That depends on you." Hours passed. Questions. Answers. Arguments. The weight of the truth pressed down on them. Finally, Samir looked at Layla. "If this gets out," he said, "it changes everything," she finished. "And not necessarily for the better." Layla sighed. "I hate that you're right." Ammonius watched them. "You're different," he said. Samir raised an eyebrow. "How so?" "You chose to explore," Ammonius said. "To seek knowledge. But also, you hesitate." Samir gave a small, tired smile. "Yeah," he said. "That's called being human." In the end, the decision was made. The site would be sealed. The truth buried once more. Not destroyed. Not forgotten. Just waiting. As they prepared to leave, Samir turned back one last time. "Ammonius he said. "Yes. Will we ever be ready?" Ammonius eyes glowed faintly. "Yes," he said. "But not today." The doors closed behind them. The desert reclaimed its silence. And beneath the sands, the truth waited. As it always had. As it always would. For the day humanity was ready to uncover not just its past, but its true origin. And its destiny among the stars.